Hi everyone, it's Cars Guy Do It Yourself. Today, we'd like to show you how to perform a complete oil service as well as replacing all the filters in this 2014 Volvo V40 Cross Country with a 1.6 D2 engine, better known as the 1.6 HDI. Curious to know how all these parts fit into this car? Then stay with us to find out. Let's start with the cabin filter. In left-hand drive vehicles, it is located on the passenger side. More precisely, it's located behind the glove box, right next to the center tunnel. We need to remove this glove box. So, let's begin with the side cover. All we need to do is pull it towards the door. The next step is removing the torque screws so that we can disassemble the glove box. Let's get to work. We have screws here on the right side, then several screws at the top and on the left side. We've got another 2 screws inside the glove box, and almost forgot, another 2 hidden under the rubber cover. Now, carefully pull the glove box towards you. Pay attention to the light wiring as it also needs to be disconnected. There's just one more light in the passenger footwell. We'll also have to disconnect it. Great! The next thing is the carpet. All we have to do is bend it aside, just like this. Right behind it, you can see the cabin filter cover. Grab it roughly 1/3 of the way up from the bottom by these 2 clips, and pull it towards you like this. In our case, one clip is already broken, but the procedure is the same. Press it inwards, then there should be a screw at the bottom, but for us, it's already missing. So it's clips and then screws. Let's move on to removing the filter from its housing. The filter is flexible, so it comes out in a slight curved shape towards us. And it's done. We dispose of the old filter and install the new one. Just make sure to pay attention to the airflow direction. Now let's reverse the removal process. Slightly bend the filter into an arc and insert it into place. Don't stress and take your time. Centimeter by centimeter, it will slide into place. And it's in. Time to install the cover. First, we have to hook the upper part in place, then rotate it downwards and clip the tabs, just like this. Next is the glove box. We start by reconnecting the lighting. First, the upper wire, then the lower one. We slide the glove box back into position and tighten all the torque screws. As you can see, the lights are working. Now, reconnect the lower light and place it back into position. All that's left is the side cover. And we're done. So, let's move on to servicing the engine. We'll be working around this area. The 3 filters are located next to each other and are hidden behind the air filter housing and the plastic engine cover. Lift the front of the engine cover upwards, then pull the rear section towards you. To remove the air filter housing, we first need to remove this intake pipe. It's held by 4 screws. So let's use an 8mm socket and unscrew them. Then just lift it upwards. Next, we disconnect the connector of the air mass flow sensor and the clip that's holding the wire. Let's move it to the side. Our next task is loosening the clamp on the air hose from the turbo side. Remove the small vacuum hose from the air filter housing. Now we lift the housing straight up, but because it sits on rubber mounts, let's take a bit of care. Right behind these rubber hoses, we have the oil filter. It's a cartridge type filter that we'll need to unscrew. But before we go on to do that, we need to disconnect this sensor as it's in the way. It's worth protecting the area underneath the oil filter housing as much as possible to avoid dripping oil all over the engine. We'll use a cloth to shield the lower area. Using a 27mm socket, a ratchet, and extension will begin to unscrew the housing. Once the filter is almost completely loosened, it's worth waiting a moment so the oil can drain down into the pan. Next, pull the whole assembly towards you. Just try not to make too much of a mess. The housing has been cleaned and is ready for installation with the new filter. Let's lubricate the new O-rings with fresh oil. There are 2 O-rings in this filter setup. The tab at the bottom of the filter must fit into the opening inside the housing. This one right here. Gently press it in until you hear that characteristic click. Next, let's replace the O-ring found on the housing. First we lubricate it, then we install it. We tighten it to 25 Newton meters, then remove the cloth from underneath and reconnect the sensor back into place. The next stage is the fuel filter, which is located underneath this metal cover. So let's remove it and get to work. The mounting of the filter is a bit complicated. We need to disconnect this upper sensor first, then remove the 3 small Torx screws, followed by the 2 outer bolts that hold the entire assembly to the lower section. So we disconnect the water sensor connector, unscrew the 2 outer bolts, and finally the 3 Torx screws. Underneath the filter there is a rubber hose. It is used for draining water from the fuel, but fuel from the filter will also flow through. So once we disconnect the upper sensor, fuel will begin flowing downwards. It's a good idea to place an empty container underneath the hose so you don't spill fuel all over your floor. So let's disconnect the sensor, rotate it to the side and lift it upwards. Next, we have the fuel line. Simply press the white locking tab and slide the hose off from the fitting. Carefully lift up the cover, revealing the filter. Gently remove the filter upwards. As you can see, there's quite a lot of diesel fuel inside the metal housing. It will slowly drain through the rubber hose into the empty container underneath. Now that the housing is cleaned and washed, let's insert the new filter into place. At the bottom of the center of the filter, there is an alignment point that must fit perfectly into the center of the housing. So, align the filter with the cover. Before installation, it's worth lubricating the seal with some diesel. Once we are sure that everything is sealed correctly, we should tighten the screws. Next, let's reconnect the fuel line and finally rotate the sensor into the locked position. Now we reconnect all the connectors. Currently, the fuel line and filters are completely empty. It'll be a good idea to fill them up with some fuel. Locate the supply line coming from the fuel tank. It's the one with the red clip. Remove part of the locking clip and squeeze the connector while pulling it off the fitting. Let's connect the hose we'll use for drawing fuel. A hand vacuum pump will come really handy here. So, let's begin pumping. Some fuel has appeared, which means the fuel filter is now filled up. Disconnect the pump and reconnect the original fuel hose back into place. Install the metal cover back onto the fuel filter and tighten the screws. And now for the last stage, the air filter. Unscrew the screws located on the housing. Let's open the housing and remove the old filter. It's worth cleaning out any debris inside. Then install the new filter and close the housing. Time to reinstall everything back onto the car. Reconnect the rubber hose and clip the air filter housing back into place. Then reconnect the air mass flow sensor wiring as well as the retaining clip. Just don't forget about that vacuum hose. Next, install the air intake back into place, tighten the 4 screws, and it's done. Now, reinstall the upper engine cover. Our car is still positioned on the ramps from earlier, as underneath we still have that lower cover to remove. Once we deal with all the screws holding the cover, we'll be able to see the oil pan. We're going to test an interesting vacuum cleaner trick. First, let's connect the hose of the vacuum to the oil filter opening. Okay, it seems to work. Next, while unscrewing the drain plug, we turn on the vacuum cleaner. Now watch carefully what happens to the oil. Next, let's turn the vacuum cleaner off. Just incredible. Nothing drips and our hands stay completely clean. And immediately the oil starts draining into the pan. Pure magic and zero mess. Once all the oil has been drained from the pan, install the new drain plug, tighten it to the correct torque, then reinstall the lower cover. Next, fill the engine with fresh oil according to the manufacturer's specifications. It's worth checking the oil level on a flat surface once the car is off the ramps. Lovely. Time to reset the service inspection. Insert the key into the ignition, but do not touch the clutch pedal or the brake pedal. Press the start button only once, press and hold the OK button on the turn signal stalk, and at the same time press the start button once again, this time holding it a little longer to switch on the ignition. The letter I will begin flashing on the center of the display, and after a moment you can release the OK button on the stalk. And it's all done. If you like it, thumbs up and subscribe. Job done. Thanks for watching.